Welcome to Mental Health Awareness Week. This is a poem. This is sort of a true story. Goes a bit like this. The day my head exploded, I woke up with a headache quite late in the morning. It was a bit of a surprise because I hadn't been drinking the night before. I was sitting at home feeling a bit bored and there was nothing to do, but I wasn't feeling quite right. So I took myself to bed and had an early night. And then I woke up with this pain behind my eyes, like an incessant throbbing. I started sobbing because I'm a bit of a wuss. I staggered to the mirror and my whole head was covered in pus. And then this isn't a very tasteful poem, by the way, sorry. And then it started growing before my eyes like a balloon being slowly inflated. I ran outside while I could still squeeze my head through the door, legged it to the shop across the road, slid along the floor and up to the counter. Wow, the bloke said, you've got a really massive head. It's like a big wobbly cyst. It's not a newsagent you need, mate. It's a chemist. I bought some ibuprofen off him anyway because it's an anti-inflammatory, and then I ran down the road to the nearest pharmacy. Your head's expanding, said the chemist as I staggered in. I can't help you. What you need is a doctor with a very sharp pin. I groaned and stepped outside. By now my head was 3 foot wide. I made my way to my GP surgery as fast as my head would let my legs carry me. I was living through the worst of my fears. Small children were looking at me and bursting into tears. I reached the waiting room not a moment too soon. Up to the counter I bravely strode. But the receptionist had all the social skills of a neglected commode. You can't have an appointment for today, she said. Expanding head or no expanding head. You should have rang the surgery promptly at 8:30 a.m. I can fit you in a week after Thursday next at 6:10 in the morning. It's a popular slot, so don't miss the appointment or you'll be shot. You won't see anyone before then at this surgery. Maybe you should go to A&E. I crowbarred my head outside. I resisted the urge to cry. I pulled out my phone and I called 999. And then I sat and waited for 2 hours by the side of the road. I wasn't feeling any better. By now my head was 5 foot in diameter and my boils were oozing this cranial oil. I looked like a leaking alien. And then these paramedics rolled up and said, alas and alack, we'll never fit your head in the back. Our only course of action, if you approve, is to put you next to the lights on the roof and secure you up there with some sort of strap. So they strapped me to the roof and then they took off. The frost froze my head till it nearly came off, but at least it stopped growing temporarily until we reached the entrance to A&E. They took me inside and told me to wait in line, where I was robustly ignored for a really long time. And all the while my head kept growing. It started to make a creaking sound and there was no way of knowing when it was going to stop. I looked at the clock and then this doctor appears. He goes, hello, I'm a locum. I've been on duty for a really long time and I've no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Now apparently you've got a head that won't stop growing. He doesn't look up from his notes. He checks my pulse and he goes, well, that appears to be normal. I suggest you go home and take some paracetamol. Try and have an early night. And if it's no better in the morning, you could see your GP. Oh, and take some ibuprofen because it's an anti-inflammatory. And then my head exploded. Everyone in the surrounding area was covered in blood, goo, teeth, chunks of gore, bits of cranium, long-forgotten secrets, embarrassing memories and elements of grey matter. The health-related posters on the wall were spattered with my innermost thoughts. An eyeball popped into a nearby lady. I accidentally waterboarded a newborn baby. The doctor took it very personally. He goes, well, that was antisocial. We have a zero tolerance policy towards exploding patients. From now on, you'll have to vent your frustrations away from A&E. Oh, and in future, try and conduct yourself with a bit more dignity. So now I'm back in my flat trying to grow a new head from scratch. It's taking a while, but it's starting to appear. I'm just waiting for the nose and a couple of ears. And it might sound optimistic, but if my next head is really handsome, it could almost be worth it. And if not, I'll just make do with whatever I've got. And if head number 2 gets bigger at any juncture, I'll just go straight for acupuncture.